The protease enzymes are going to help, with, especially if you're someone like John who doesn't stomach animal proteins as well in a powdered form, or if you just get protein farts if you take a lot of protein at once.
Welcome to PricePlow.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Ben, co-host of PricePlow, and today I'm really excited to talk to you about a guy in the industry and his protein. A guy that really helped me form my philosophy around dieting, training, and the lifestyle of fitness and bodybuilding. Personally being a powerlifter, he still affected a lot of the way that I train, the way that I eat, the way that I look at the complications in this lifestyle. So, of course, I'm talking none other than John Meadows, owner of Granite Supplements, incredible 212 bodybuilder, IFBB pro, very intelligent guy. I love his scientific approach to things, but also the fact that he doesn't always just stick to this, the stuff that is science-backed. He has experience, and he's not afraid to lean into that. So, John, as you guys probably know, has a bit of a digestive complication. I don't remember his exact diagnosis, but I do know that there's been surgery at some point. It's been pretty serious, and finding foods that digest for him has been a career-long pursuit. So I remember actually back in 2019 during our podcast, I think he was talking, I don't know if it was on air or off air, but he was talking about a specific protein that he takes from another company. I won't blow up the spot on this one, but it was a very unique protein for a bodybuilder to be using. It was very different, but it worked for his stomach. It worked for his digestive system. So when that product was discontinued, he obviously needed to make one for himself with his company, and he went with this very interesting 5 different sources protein, and he called me up a couple months ago and he was like, man, I've made this really cool protein and I just really want you to try it out. One of my favorite things about John is just how personable and real he is. He's not a businessman 24/7, and it's very easy to have normal conversations with him without feeling there's a sales pitch. So he sent me out a couple different flavors of this. He actually sent the whole team a bunch of different flavors. We've been loving them and trying them out. Now, I do want to disclose here, we do have a business affiliate relationship with Granite Supplements, and I don't have a stomach issue, so I'm going to lean on to John's need for that kind of dietary restriction with this review. But personally, I stomach a lot of proteins very, very well. So, I mean, if I take a very, very high dairy protein, like a protein's like 45% protein, and the rest of it's fillers and lactose and all that wonderful stuff, I'll probably have a hard time. But I wasn't expecting too much of a difference from the industry standard WPC 80 or stuff of that nature. So, Granite Supplements protein, no fancy name or anything. It's just a complete spectrum of 5 protein sources, and all of them are in some way animal-based. So I was happy to see that here. I've tried enough plant proteins recently, and obviously for muscle gain, muscle retention during cuts, you want to be getting stuff that is going to have an animal protein. Plant protein is going to be suboptimal for that type of pursuit. So here we're getting 23 grams of protein from 30 grams of a scoop, which comes out to about 77% protein. That's rounding up. If you are familiar with protein concentrations, the highest in this one being the beef protein isolate is going to be around 98%. The whey protein isolate in here is probably around 90 to 92%. And the concentrate, I'm assuming, since this is so high, I'm betting it's going to be around a WPC 80, as well as the egg protein is obviously very high as well, and casein is pretty similar to a concentrate percentage. Being 76%, including the flavoring, and this is the chocolate, which is going to have a lot of flavoring added in. This is probably the lowest concentration out of the 3 being vanilla, protein, and caramel. 77% is an awesome concentration for protein with these sources, and I'm happy with it. Now, the actual breakdown of these proteins, if you look on their site, they give a little bit more insight into the sources, which I appreciate with a protein like this with these different animal sources. Whey protein concentrate is the #1 in the blend. I don't really feel like this needs a lot of introduction on this channel. We understand that whey protein concentrate is most likely WPC 80 in here. It's a great source because it is less processed than normal isolates. Even though isolates are higher in concentration of protein, this one is going to be a little bit less processed. You're going to get some more of those naturally occurring immunoglobulins and stuff like that if you care about the immune response with protein and stuff like that. But it's going to have a great amino acid content. It's a good place to start. Nothing wrong with that. Now, Micellar Casein here obviously adds a longer lasting amino acid release here. Whey protein concentrate is not the fastest, but it is a generally fast protein. Casein here is the opposite. You're going to get 6 to 8 hours of slowly released protein into your body. That's awesome because you just get, two different speeds here. You're going to get multiple speeds, but you're going to get generally a fast and a slow releasing protein in here, and you're going to know that you're going to be anabolic for a few hours. They follow that up with Whey protein isolate. Like I said before, that is going to be between 90 and 92% pure of protein. It's going to be very, very fast acting protein. So it's going to be very quickly into your bloodstream and quick acting. This is kind of going to be what you're looking for if you're using it post workout. This can be used anytime during the day, but I would recommend this post workout because the beef isolate, the egg white isolate, and the whey protein isolate. Following into the beef protein isolate, now this one is usually a bit of a, I get a little bit worried when I see beef protein isolate because this could be possibly collagen on some not so great companies. Now, obviously, I like John Meadows. I trust his products. We talked a lot about manufacturing in our podcast with him last year, and he knows what he's doing. So you look at the actual site, which I'll probably overlay over the video. They talk a little bit about the sources of it. It's coming from Sweden with actually grass-fed, hormone-free, antibiotic-free, non-GMO. That's always great to see. And they talk about the protein content. They talk about the types of amino acids that are in it. So I'm hoping this isn't collagen. This is obviously something we have to take John's word for it, since there is not an amino acid profile on the bag or on the site. But nonetheless, even if it is collagen, it's going to give us a variety of different essential amino acids, whereas the rest of them are going to be complete amino acids, much more for muscle building. So even if it is a collagen, I'm not that worried. I would just prefer it not to be. Finishing up with egg white protein. Egg whites are obviously the goat of bodybuilding foods. I mean, you've seen guys drinking their eggs for a long time, but of course you know about bodybuilders removing the yolks and drinking their egg whites. Mike and I have reviewed egg white proteins in the past. They're very salty. They're not very great tasting on their own, but if you add it into a blend, it's very, very high in leucine, and it's going to be a great addition to a blend. A little bit of a kicker, pretty quick acting. So that's the protein matrix there. They followed up with, obviously, actually they use natural flavors in this, which is kind of cool. They do use sucralose to sweeten it though. Well, what I do like about this blend is the protease enzymes here. The protease enzymes are going to help with, especially if you're someone like John who doesn't stomach animal proteins as well in a powdered form, or if you just get protein farts if you take a lot of protein at once. I have used this up to 2 scoops at once, and outside of normal dietary gas from being a high protein person, I haven't gotten any extra ridiculous farts from these. I'm sorry to be a little bit too much information here, but I definitely consider this a premium protein for what is available in the industry. John puts his name on this because it works for him, his clients, and he has a bit of extenuating circumstances here because of his digestion and his GI tract. All right, so for the flavor review, I will be reviewing John's salted caramel flavor. I have had the vanilla, I've had the chocolate. They're vanilla and chocolate, they're good. In this day and age, if you mess up vanilla and chocolate, probably shouldn't be in supplements. I find it much more rewarding to review the interesting flavors, since you guys might not have so many of these. I don't think you can ever really go wrong with vanilla or chocolate in today's ecosystem of supplements. But today, in the PricePlow Ice Shaker, we'll be talking about salted caramel. So I actually get, when I was mixing it up and I was smelling the powder, I got a lot of cinnamon hints, even though it is salted caramel. We'll see how it goes. I'm not a caramel person. That's really good. I definitely get some cinnamon in there. I don't know why. But it's actually very pleasant. That's a really good salted caramel. Now, obviously the egg white protein in there will help with the saltiness, like I said before. But overall, it's very creamy, not too thick. I used 8 ounces of water, which is a little bit more than most people ask for proteins. Great flavor. John likes this. This is actually John's favorite flavor, he told us, so was happy to try that out for the video review. Anyway, big fan of the product. If you have digestive issues and you can stick with animal source proteins, this is one that I would try out if you have problems. Other than that, the multiple different sources of protein are going to be helpful for building muscle. Big fan of each source that's in here, as well as John Meadows. So guys, go check out PricePlow.com/granite supplements. I'll put it up here and obviously in the link below. You can read up the blog if you want more info on the product. But this product, I've been steadily impressed by. It tastes great. It works well. It doesn't give me any kind of unneeded gastric distress, even though I don't have the conditions that John or many people do. If you're looking for protein, check these guys out for the next month and have a great day, guys. Thanks for watching.
Welcome to PricePlow.